Evening, boys and girls. Welcome back to Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2, turn 2, about to become German AI turn 3. I wanted to show you, if you're new to this game, just following the game series, watching the videos, not playing it yourself, that if you go into the user preferences, you can change combat resolution message level. And the higher the number, the more detail. You can go down to very low details where you watch individual weapons firing. Message delay, the higher the setting, the longer the time. And resolution close delay. So I increased the slowness of the messages so that we can follow along. If you don't want to watch combat resolution when the AI attacks, you can just skip ahead in this playlist until into the next video instead. Before we go into the next turn, let me show you what I decided to do with my 20 APs, action points for this turn. I built forts in these ports up here, and you might find that strange, but a port can actually have up to a fortress level of 4, so the earlier you start building, the better. And if the Germans reach up here and try to cut off my naval supply into Leningrad, I want these two forts to be as high as possible. The last third port here, Siaustroy, it's a bit harder to reach with 2 river crossings, so I'm gonna wait at that one. Also, I spent 2 points. If this is the right thing to do, I don't know. But I built 2 supply depots inside Leningrad, and I built them on hexes that have high rail yard capacity, because that's gonna allow higher maximum storage. So this one has 30,000 rail, but it doesn't say how much the maximum storage capacity is. This one has 90,000 rail. Anyways, these are 2 nice stockpiles behind the front line, so if Leningrad gets cut off, if these ports can't supply or get captured, we will last a week or 2 or a couple of weeks extra because of these supply depots, hopefully. I built 2 new forts behind Leningrad, Novgorod, sorry. Obviously I'm building in open or light forest terrains. I'm not gonna build in marshes or heavy forts because they're quite good at defending in anyways. Where else did we put up forts? We actually put up forts in cities that I don't want to garrison with troops. Let's turn off the... So, Lipetsk and Ryazan back here got forts. Now I never have to really put any garrison units. Not even small brigades or paratrooper units or anything. And I given all these an engineer battalion as well. Where else? We put a couple of forts in Stalino and in the other town here, Gorlovka, and in Rostov. I did not put one in Voroshilovgrad. Where else? There should be 10 new forts. I guess that's pretty much it. I kind of wanted to put one in Feodosia and Kerch, these ports, so if the AI breaks through the Kerch Strait Gap, I have nice high fort levels in these ports, but it's kind of hard to get through here. So I already have 1 layer of fortresses. I also wanted one here in Taganrog, but I didn't have the points. I think that was the 10 I spent. I didn't get any in Moscow, so I'm not gonna build forts in Moscow. I guess if I construct them, go later. Oh right, I forgot. I haven't really made up my mind whether I should disband these. It's around almost 2,000 or manpower. How much are they gonna slow down the motorized spearheads here? Very little, but they are in level 2 forts. But I think when these guys surrenders, all of them are captured, so it's kind of wasteful. Let's disband them before we go. It's really not gonna help me a lot. Also another thing I've set is, if we check one unit here, this cavalry out here, it says 2 equals 16. What is that, you ask? In the settings you can have either the combat value, which would be kind of an average of attack and defense, I think, and then the movement factors. Now if you change it to combat, the first value is going to be 2, and then the equal sign means that the last number is not movement factors but defense factors. So for combat here now, you can see this cavalry in rough terrain, it's a good cavalry unit, has 16, whereas most of my Russian trashy units, they have 1 or maybe even 2 if I'm lucky. There's a few exceptions, but a lot of my front line is a 1-1-1 defense line. Okay, so that's what you're seeing on the screen now. Where do we expect to have combat? Well, in the south we expect the Romanian front to kind of push into this river line here. So when the combat's AI system pops the map around, it's kind of hard to know where on the map you are, because it doesn't follow from north to south. It's just a random where you pop up new combats. But you're gonna see combats here. You're gonna see them push me out of Vinitsa. Probably not gonna see much combat up here at Shitomir because it's too far. You're gonna see combat in these pockets a lot. And you're gonna see this German spearhead here smash into the river line and the land bridge gap somewhere. I don't know where he's going, but you know, probably he's gonna attack here somewhere. And we're also gonna see these motorized and these panzer regiments here try to do something. Alright, I did not decide if I should move this NKVD regiment up here into this rough hex and make another layer of another hex of zone of control. But it's such a nice hex with the level 2 fort and city terrain that I'm gonna keep it inside, I think, for a 14 defense value. That's a good defense value for the Soviet Union turn 2. Okay, and also I didn't decide what to do. Oh, there's some stuff I forgot to do. I have a motorized division here that starts around Leningrad. It has very high morale, 68. It has nice movement factor, 20, but it has low strength, and it's lacking 2/3 of its trucks. I think it might be the best thing to do with it is just build forts with it. So maybe I'll move it down here and have it behind Novgorod and build up these forts. Because I am kind of low on troops everywhere now, the first couple of turns. So how about we move it here and have it build forts? Is that good? Let's do that. I'll put it under Leningrad front there because it's a little bit out of range. And then we have the 2nd infantry here. I'll move it up into this. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I really thought that was done for this turn. Yeah, so many things to think of that it's quite easy to forget about doing stuff. But with that, I do believe that we are ready to go off fighting the Germans. Just gonna save, end of turn, another time. I always get a little bit anxious, like what have I forgotten? Well, I guess we'll find out next turn, and here we go. Turn 3, Germany. Yeah, I tried to run a kind of fun playlist with Soviet propaganda music in the background through YouTube, but I got copyright stricken on one song, so I didn't dare to do it now when the AI is running the combat segment, because it's kind of hard to redo this phase. It feels like save scamming and cheating. And the game is stuck now in a loading execution phase. I can't go in and change settings, or I can't scroll, or I can't change the map. So during the combat phase, it's kind of hard to do any changes. So if you have the wrong settings for combat, it's gonna be a very long combat phase. Let's see what I set up. You don't get a lot of information from that screen scrolling in the right lower corner. Supplying units first. The highest priority supply gets going. You can exit this. I guess it just... No, you can't exit it. I'm a little bit disappointed at the competency in turn 2 of the German AI. But I think long run, we're gonna see that the 120 difficulty setting is gonna make the AI so powerful that it's kind of challenging to play the Soviet Union on normal settings. We'll see. I'm trying out some new things that I haven't tried out before. Okay, here comes the air phase. Right. Some scouting. I have air directives around Pskov and over Kiev and over Odessa. I have no other air directives anywhere. No air units doing anything. I see some HAF. That is the Croatians, is it? Hungarian bombers up here. So the AI is putting Hungarian airplanes in Army Group North. No bombing raids. Okay, let's pause here. All right, that's just cleaning up the pockets. We're not very interested about retreat. Yeah. Surrender. Okay. We got 23,000 troops surrendering. Okay, lovely. Another surrender. 10,000 troops. 10,000. Yeah, it's just the way it is. 10,000. All right. Yeah, another pocket, another surrender. I mean, the best thing about this is that these units fighting these pockets are not advancing towards Moscow. A tank division, we lost 400 tanks, probably a couple of T-34s. Painful, but that's the way it is. 400 more tanks lost. Another surrender. Okay, so he's cleaning out the isolated part of the Bialystok pocket. And down here around the border, they're all dead now. But this is good news, because I believe this guy routed out of the pocket down to here. I can't zoom in because the pocket, I managed to open the pocket. This guy wasn't, so I saved like 3,000 troops. So that's a real win. Here's another route. It's anti-tank brigade. Okay, we lost 81 out of 96 guns, but only half the manpower. So that's another win. Can you? Okay, he's still inside the pocket, but now he's routed. So if the Germans move next to it, he will run away again. A retreat inside the pocket. I think this red square indicates where we're fighting. I should have zoomed in. Surrender, because it's inside the pocket. They're isolated. A route. Let me see. Okay, so we were attacked inside the semi-open pocket, and I think he routed inside the marshes here, Pripyat marshes, and that's a nice mechanized division with around 4,000 men left. No tanks though. Surrender inside the pocket. Where is this? Popov? I don't know where this combat was. Is it because it's the Leningrad front? I think this might have been this hex south of Pskov that he cleared out. No, 290 infantry division. I don't know where this combat is. Another rout, so we got some man surviving. Okay, they shattered. Okay, so this was the only division with any kind of manpower in the semi-closed pocket between Hungary, Romania, and Lvov, the Army Group South. So by losing these 8,000 men, what's left there is just trash now. And a shatter is an attack that is so immensely strong, and the defender is so weak that basically they're not surrendering, but it just stops existing. So I was hoping this unit was going to retreat or rout itself out of the semi-pocket, but it didn't. They all just died. A retreat, NKVD border guards detachment. That's good. I'll take that. He retreated out of the pocket. A rout of almost 7,000 tank division. That's perfect. Very good. Now we're down to security operations. I mean, surely there must be more attacks, right? Is that it? That can't be it. Okay, now we're going to priority attacks. So I think now that we're starting the non-pocket clearing up attacks. This is the 6th Panzer Division. It is a full division with 235 tanks attacking, okay, a NKVD border guard detachment. So it doesn't say what hex he attacked, but I can see a red square here. So it should have been somewhere south of Skov. So I lose everything but 50 men in this, because this is a very powerful Panzer division. So that's it's expensive to slow down Panzer divisions. And here he shatters another one on my checkerboard, slowing down. It's hard to slow down these divisions, especially he's got 20% more morale, so he hits 20% harder at least. Jesus, this is scary. And here comes the 8th Panzer Division. It only has 179 tanks, and it takes out one of my forts at Skov. All right. Here, the 6th Panzer Division attacks into city of Skov on its, and it's a scouted result. Scouted is when there is a high leadership difference between the leadership, and if it's a dangerous attack that wouldn't go very well, because Skov is city terrain, which is very hard to attack into, and it has a level 2 fort, and I have a decent force here, 10,000 defenders. So the odds were less than, and the leadership decided that instead of suffering heavy attack losses, they turn it into a scouted result. And that means my defenders, they did not win this. It doesn't calculate as a win result. But it's funny here. His combat value, 119, goes down to 1. Whereas my 149 defensive value goes down to 2. Which turns into 1 to 1.5. You need 2 to 1 to force a retreat. Okay, I'm happy I won. That this stopped the 6th Panzer Division for a little bit. But it's a bit of a weird combat. Alright, now they pushed us out. It's the Totenkopf SS Motorized Division. The SS Motorized Divisions are very, very powerful. So, but we only lost the it's probably mostly the fourth zone, MG artillery battalion here. That's the losses. All in all, I stopped an attack of Skov before they pushed me out. So I guess I'm happy with the result here. And we didn't. The motorized rifle brigade, it routed. That's a 55 morale. It's 5 over the national morale of the Soviet Union, and still it routed. But the border guard detachment retreated. So they're there behind Skov, north of Skov, and still spreading a zone of control. I think. Here they rout a weak Soviet division, but even though it's a rout result, we only lose 759 men. And remember, in this campaign, I am playing with lower retreat attritional result, which is a beta setting that you can select in the campaign settings. But in compensation, you have lower combat delay results in the hexes where you fight. So it's less beneficial to push troops back. You can't just juggernaut your way forward and just kill the opponent when you're stronger. You kind of have to push through, suffer less combat delay, and then encircle, which the AI is not very good at. So for a rout result, these losses are very low. But retreating is much better than routing, of course. As you can see here, there's a huge hole. They're just blowing past Skov. I've seen 3 full motorized divisions here. So it's the full, what is it, the 4th Panzer Group that's up here. Oh, we got a held result. It is our 181st Rifle Division, which I think it's in pretty good shape. You can see it's right next outside Skov. I should have zoomed in one level so you could see what was actually going on here. But it's only 8,000, but it actually stopped the 36th Motorized Division with a held result. That is excellent. That is very important. This is the 4th Motorized Division, so it's a full core of mech units up here. Good job, 181st Rifle Division. I'm very happy about that result. And this is good as well. Again, they attack and we retreat. We don't rout. We only lose 600 troops. Very good. Now, is this the same division? 182nd, that's another one, right? It gets hit by the 8th Panzer Division. And we retreat, we don't rout. It's very important. We're slowing them down. Jesus, they're pushing so hard towards Leningrad. And here comes a rout. And with this rout, by the 182nd Rifle Division, we lose 6,000. So even though I have the lower rout losses, we lose almost the entire division. And as you can see, the attacker division losses are minuscule. Okay, I wonder how much is left of our one army up here. Where's this? He crossed a major river to hit on a decent tank division, the 18th, with 272 tanks. And he uses the 12th Panzer Division, and he just attacks across the river and routs my division, and we'll lose more than half of our tanks. That's unfortunate, but it's a strong German AI early in the war, so what can you do? Did they have any? I can't see really that they had. Okay, no air support. The Germans have no air support. I know I wouldn't have any. And this was a pretty good division at the land bridge, and he just routs it. But we only get 1,000 losses, so we live to fight another day once we have rallied our rifle division. It is the 7th Panzer Division that hitting so hard. Painful. It would be nice with a retreat here. No, another rout. Jesus. And we lose 6,000 troops. Every single attack in this area is a rout. So far. 3 routes around Vitebsk, south of Vitebsk. Yes, let's hold them. Okay, we held, but it was across the river. Sorry. So he was attacking. Oh, he's crossed. He's trying to encircle my mechanized formations here. Shit, that's not good. Okay. I wonder, is that the one he's attacking? Yeah, is he attacking? This is my strongest division in this area. So you can see he has 57 combat value that goes down to 6. He had 400 tanks, lost 70. But at least he didn't rout. He only retreated. So he's there to fight another time in this area here. Oh my god, he's hitting me so hard. I'm really nervous now to get encircled. Okay, the same tank division. I should not defend with tank divisions, but I was really spread out in around Smolensk. So I lose 200 tanks from my elite division here, but I retreat again and I don't rout. It's again the 7th Panzer Division. Hopefully the 7th Panzer Division is kind of running out of combat preparation and maybe even ammunition and fuel as well. Let's see here. Where was this? I'm not quite sure. Okay, so they broken through and they're just outside Smolensk and they're attacking the 17th Tank Division here. Another retreat, losing 80 tanks. It's the 20th Motorized Division. This time, did he make me retreat back southwest across the river again? I think so. He's pushing me into a semi-pocket here. Yeah, I don't have a good tank commander and he's using very high quality forces. It's my own fault for covering the major river line with tank formations. A retreat result. What is this? It's the 155th Rifle. Okay, this is inside the semi-pocket in the Pripyat marshes. These guys, if they rout out into the marshes. They're not isolated. So a retreat. I kind of would have preferred a low loss rout result here, to be honest. We'll see what happens. Shatter, rout. My god, we lost 12 out of 9,000. Another rout. Almost all the troops are lost. Another okay, this is a good one. I think. Did he just route from here up to here? I mean, look, we got. Oh yeah, that's the retreating. Okay, so we don't know what routed, but not that many losses. Okay. Maybe we got some people out of the pockets. That would be nice. Here's another rout, but we lost everything but 100 troops. Oh my god. These rout results are so brutal. Jesus. And he's still inside the pocket there. Okay. Painful Barbarossa times in War in the East. I just want to see what this is. Is this... I think this might be a combat west of Kiev. Next to this town. I didn't think they would have a lot of combat power when they got up here. But apparently they did, because they killed 96 tanks. with the 16th Panzer Division. I managed to kill 8 German tanks. Rokossovsky's in command, so he got his first loss here. There was a minor river he was sitting behind, I'm pretty sure. So I could have pulled back my tank corps even further and avoided getting hit. You know, I'm not trying to prevent him really from reaching Kiev. This is slowing him down just a little bit, but he's just getting very nice hits in on my mech forces this way, losing 96 tanks, 2/3. Scouted, that is good. It's not as good as a held result, but for 82 tanks, we inflict 89 losses on the 16th Motorized Division. Jesus, it's a scouting result, and you melt away 82 tanks. Jesus, you're so bad, Soviet armor. Here, yeah, again, it's this Rokossovsky's. These guys were. There were 3 tank divisions refitting inside the city of Zhytomyr. I was thinking they wouldn't reach up here, the German armor, but obviously I did. They killed 99 tanks, 4,600 men. I killed 6 tanks of this, and we got a rout and 2 retreats. But we still have some functional tank use here, but he's gonna chew up this tank corps. It's gonna be out of effect. But this means he's sending panzers from the main line from Lvov northeast towards Kiev, and I'm pretty good with that because he's really he's going into the Kiev fortifications this way. So was it a trap to lure him up this way? No, I should have pulled back further. Scout, okay. We saw a result scouted, and then it turned into routed. Okay. Well, took out another 8 German tanks. I would have been happier with scout. And another rout, and all the tanks are gone. These are pre-war, really old Russian tanks, so they don't matter that much. But obviously I would have preferred to do something more useful than just have them chewed up like this. This is just a massacre. The Zhytomyr massacre. Oh my god. This is so bad. And we see an encirclement of 1 mech. This was a fairly good unit as well. And now it's encircled. Yep. Now we see Romanian and German. It's the first Romanian armor division, one of the few divisions that actually has a chance to do something here. He surrenders 1 fort, and he makes the 95 Rifle Division rout. That was the weaker of the 2 divisions here. I only lost half. I didn't lose all. And for some reason, we have air cover here. I'm very surprised by this. This must be a 36 MiG formation that I forgot to tell, because I should not have air cover over here, so I'm a bit surprised about that. But for 9 MiGs we shoot down 5 I don't know, Axis planes. That's not very good, but it's okay, it's okay. But okay, I need to find out why my air, because I put it to fly over Odessa itself, not this far away from Odessa. Okay. Kill the fort zone. Okay, look at this. This would be my second fleeing infantry division in this area that I kind of left a tank corps to cover these guys' retreat. And it paid off because this around 6,000 troop division actually held off the 1st Romanian Armor Division, killed 16 Romanian tanks, and Vlasov and the tank, they got a win on their win counter. So that was nice. I'm happy about that. One of the better combats this week. But now they routed it the second time with a cavalry brigade. But we only lost 1,100 men routing. So he got out. I'm not intending to hold the Romanians back from Odessa or anything. I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to kind of catch up with all my retreating stupid troops. Maybe slow them down a little bit. I mean, they're just not running amok across this river. I think we had one scout and one held result so far. A rout. What the hell is this? Okay. Down by the border, one rifle division held off 3 times, so he had 3 wins. But now this time he was routed, and he lost every single infantry and artillery piece. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's a horrible result. So he might as well been eliminated entirely. That's brutal. We did have nice Romanian air support in this combat. Another retreating border. Oh, this is much better. It routed and it only lost 500. And again, we can see some air cover this far south. I'm very perplexed by this. They should not be flying air cover this far south. Okay, we shot down 2 planes to losing 5. That's a good trade for Russia. And it was a good rout result. Oh fuck, I can see my mech division being semi-encircled. It's actually isolated, isn't it? Well, we're gonna break out, but he's probably dead next turn. They are transporting freight south of Minsk into an airbase here. 90 tons. Okay. Okay. So after these combats, we'll examine the losses, maybe the on-map forces of Russia after the massacre that this was. There were some highlights that were pretty good for me, but painful combat results as well, of course. But it's unavoidable. It's just the way it is. 231 tons. Is he dumping it inside like Poland? And he's moving up from Bucharest to the... Those are some weird internal air transports of supplies. Okay, guys, before you... This is all the combat there is. But before you go, you want to check out some stats of the Soviet army. See how much manpower on the map, how many losses, etc. Now we're into the Soviet part of the turn here. Get a little autosave. Right, so friendly losses this turn was 262,000 infantry troops, 5,000 artillery pieces, 2,000 tanks, and 42 airplanes. That is a bunch of losses, but it's just pockets being eliminated mostly, I suppose. What's interesting here is that even though I placed a lot of new reinforcements, especially around Leningrad here, oh my god, they broke through here up towards Leningrad, and they took the 2 deployment hexes that I've been using, so a lot of it displaced, and it's over here. It's not in front of... oh, that's not good. Look, all these divisions, they should have been right here. Oh my god. The road to Leningrad is almost over. But as you can see here, we probably deployed around 200,000 divisions on the map. And still yet, we lost 200,000 from the map. Do we now have 130,000 trucks out of needed 185? I think so. We have 52,000 in the depots. We're repairing 42,000 trucks. So we need more trucks, obviously. I probably should disband a couple of tank or motorized or mech divisions. Okay, before we end, let's check the map. So on the map, we're now down from 2.7 to 2.5 million men. So we're lower than ever. And it's the same with guns. It's gone down from 44 to 35,000. Tanks, you know, we pulled some into the reserve, but most of these are losses. Our tank force is down to 7.5k. Aircraft, almost all of these are, you lose 4k during the initial Barbarossa turn, but the rest is just put into the reserve. So we really didn't lose that many. Let's see here. We have losses here. Okay. So this was more brutal than the last turn, manpower-wise, artillery-wise, tank-wise. But aircraft-wise, look, we killed more Axis airplanes than we lost. I guess that's good news. And our manpower pool went down from almost 600,000 to 400. So 200,000 troops were just pulled from the recruit pool into units this turn. Yeah, that happens. All in all, you know, I'm prepared for this. This is what happens. Forced reorganization. This seems like a new event. In the early weeks of the war, it quickly became apparent that the Soviet command structure needed to change. The core HQs did not function well, and this was compounded by the large early losses in the border armies. The Soviet army just didn't have the number or trained staff officers needed to man these formations effectively. As part of a major reorganization of Soviet ground forces, most Soviet rifle and mechanized corps HQs will disband automatically or upgrade to army HQs in the coming turns, many without notice. Yeah, right, but most disband turn 24 or up until 24. Eastward evacuations. Okay, factories are moving eastwards. So just a quick overview. They don't push towards Tallinn at all. They made an all-out breakthrough up towards Novgorod. And they didn't encircle anything. Everything here can run away and reorganize, right? But I am worried that, you know, I'm not going to be able to set up a nice first defense line here along these two march hexes here. So they oh, it's raining in the north. Oh, that's good. Yeah, this is a nasty surprise. He's divided his troops up into regiments, which is going to make it very hard for me to break through and make any sort of encirclement cutoff, which I guess is pretty smart. Okay, on the good news, he did not push towards Veliki Luki. That's going to give me time to set up. I guess I only got 3 more fresh divisions, these 3 white ones here. I thought I deployed more. But I guess this gives me a bit of time to fortify here. He did not semi-encircle anything. He just crossed the river. He did not. I can run away and reorganize everything here. And it took a lot of tank losses that I wish I didn't have to take. But at least these tank forces are fast and can run away quickly from here. He did not cross the river here in the south. We have a lot of headquarters here that got out of the marshes. That's good. He did not cut off my retreating troops in the north. He smashed Rokossovsky's tank corps here entirely. This guy is gonna have severe troubles getting out, but I think with 33 movement points, you know, he's gonna get away to fight another day. So it's Oh, and it surrounded Vinitsa. And look, he didn't isolate these forces here. Well, Stanislav, he did. It's only a security regiment, but all of these troops are gonna get out. That's good news. Okay, I guess that's it. All right, we got all the Moscow militia. There's like 10 Moscow militia divisions popping out, weaker divisions, and I got a few 6 Leningrad militia. I think you get divisions up here this turn. Okay, they'll be needed now in front of Moscow, of course. Very exciting. Did we check the German losses? Let's see how many tanks the Germans lost. 102 tanks. That might not sound like a lot, but if there are 52 weeks in a year, that would be 5,200 tanks over a year's fighting. So 100 tanks, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not as good as 1950 Soviet tanks, but remember, mine are trash. I'm quite happy with 100 German tanks eliminated. Okay, they're in the repair pool, and some of them are gonna come back, but some of them are also gonna get killed or deleted. I'm basically trying to avoid encirclements, and so far, you know, it's looking decent considering that. All right, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy the content. Let me know, give me a like and a comment. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Do you like this format where you don't see me playing the game moving? You only have after actions how I moved and what I built and what I planned, and then you see me doing the German combat attacks, and that's it? Or do you prefer to watch other streamers when they actually play the game so you can follow every move? Alright, see you in the next one. Bye bye.